guys, we are looking at an American Standard heat pump and kind of in a little bit of a pickle. One of the guys was out this morning and was replacing a leaking core valve, and the tip of the rod that holds the core, while he was trying to change it, broke off. So as you can see, the core valve is still here with a zip tie on it to hold the handle in the closed position. He assumes that he thinks the core came out because all the pressure blew, but he got it closed. But the tip of the piece that slides back in here for your knob to tighten it and loosen it, take it in and out, that holds the core, broke off. So I have an appy on, I've got a yellow jacket, and then I've got a field piece removal tool that I use, but he has a C&D, and my concern was, I know the threads are pretty much the same, but was the rod length going to be different in the one I had? So I had to run around and finally went to Johnstone. They had the C&D. So, but out of curiosity, I'm going to see if any of mine fit real quick. So I've got the yellow jacket. I already kind of have a feeling that that's going to be way too long on it. It's got kind of a long shaft on it. Let's get this thing opened up real quick. I think my yellow jacket might fit it, but I didn't want to take a chance in getting over here and one of these not fitting in there. Because you see that. You see how long that thing is right there. So that's not gonna fit in there. These are a little longer because they made room for that sight glass on it. So I know that's not gonna fit. And then I also have a yellow jacket, and they look very similar. So I'm curious. My yellow jacket, that way if I run into this again, if somebody else is using one of these, I know my yellow jacket will fit it. So let's take this apart real quick. Yep. So the yellow jacket will fit, probably made in the same place. There's somebody else's name on it, but so I know that'll fit. So I've taken this out, and he said he thinks the core came out, but that is not sliding in there. So I thought this was going to be something I could do real quick. That's not going in there, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the barrel of the Schrader core stuck in there. So I don't know if I can get that out or not. Looks like it might be hung up on the threads. But yeah, you can see the Schrader core stuck right there. So I'm gonna see if I can get that thing out. I don't know if I can or not. You may be in a little bit of a pickle. So use my little thermostat screwdriver. Maybe I can get this thing to come out. Oh, there we go. Huh. There it is right there. So that's the piece that came off the tip of his Schrader core with the Schrader core stuck to it. So at least we know it's out anyway. So we'll just get a new one put in. But that's weird how that thing broke off the tip of his core tool. So basically we're looking at this little thing right there. It broke off before it got all the way out, and it got hung up in there. So I don't know what holds it in, if there's a little screw in there or something, a little push rod or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's out, and the Schrader core's out. So let's get a new Schrader core in there and see if we can not get this thing in a pickle where we have to recover it all and then change this whole fitting out. I got some Schrader cores in here somewhere. Got everything else in here. Yep, there's one right there. Usually keep a few, and I keep some of these little jumper pins that you find on defrost boards. I take them off old units when they come back. Just little things like that. It's nice to have once in a while. But anyway, let's see if we can get the Schrader core back in this thing and be done with it. So I got to cut that zip tie off so I can open the valve back when I'm finished. Hope there's not any more debris in there. Looks like it all came out. Yep, I got pressure. Put this thing on there snug. And I think it's in. We'll find out here in a minute. I had that thing on there tight. Yep, pressure released. And Schrader core is in. Last but not least, put the cap on it. So yeah, the old core is still intact actually, but it was the piece of the core tool that came off. I've heard of that happening before, but I mean, it's a C&D. I've had one of these in the past and used it, and I never had that happen. But the yellow jacket is pretty much the same tool. So if you ever have that happen and you have a yellow jacket, you can take your rod out of your yellow jacket and use it in that. The Appion's probably a little short. It might fit, I don't know. Yellow jacket is longer. Now this is my favorite tool that I've got now for using to do core tools and or core removal and replacement. I like that sight glass because it lets you know that you don't, either you have it or you don't. You don't have to waste time pulling it out and getting disappointed and going back in again. I've had success with that, but unfortunately the rod is too long to work in that one. So anyway, guys, that's a quick repair. Let's turn the breaker back on. And he left it running. None of the charge jumped out. He just noticed it when he was unscrewing it. And I had the breaker turned off because I didn't want it to come on while I was out here doing this. But I guess while he was unscrewing it, he noticed the pressure was shooting out. And it got stuck, got hung up, so he closed the valve. Probably just let out a minimal amount of refrigerant, but anyway, we're gonna be good to go. Sometimes shit happens. Appreciate you watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.